Hey, this is Thomas from okayitsnotenough.com, your coach helping you create more exciting and more fulfilling life. The 2018 is behind us, and I hope it's been an incredible year for you. It certainly has been an incredible year for me. It brought a lot of amazing things that I'm so grateful for. It also brought a lot of challenges as it goes. And in this video, I want to do a final recap on and final update on all the goals that I've set for myself for 2018 and share with you guys what progress I've made, whether I've reached these goals, be totally transparent about where I fell short, so which goals have not been accomplished, and also what lessons I've learned from all that pursuit of my goals and encountering all these challenges and having to figure out how to overcome them. Now, before I go into that, I just want to share quickly the reason why I share my goals with you. It's been my second year of sharing my goals, and I do it for a number of reasons. So the first one, I want to share with you how I do it, the structure, how I phrase my goals, how I set my goals, because I hope that it will give you a little bit of guidance in how you can do it yourself. The second reason is that I'm sincerely hoping that it will inspire you to maybe set more audacious goals, more courageous goals, bigger goals, something that you find more exciting. Just stretch yourself a little more. I also want to show you what's possible when you really apply yourself and when you pursue your goals really hard, when you're fully committed and disciplined in pursuing your goals. And if you take something from it and you yourself set bigger goals, or maybe just start setting goals, then I feel like it's all been worthwhile. And the final point is, it also helps me, it inspires me, because when I share my goals with all of you, and there are tens of thousands of people that are in my network that get to see my goals on my website and through social media, it creates a lot of pressure, a good pressure, a lot of accountability of, at this moment, probably around 50,000 people, which is a lot of accountability. So when I share my goals publicly, it gives me the extra push, gives me the inspiration, because, as I said, I want to inspire you guys. I don't want to fall behind with things. I want to show you what's possible. And all that just holds me accountable. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because perhaps you can do something like this yourself. Maybe you can share your goals, not necessarily on your website or on your social media, but with your close friends or someone who would also be up for bettering themselves and stretching themselves and just squeezing a little more out of life. Think about it, it creates an amazing effect and an amazing accountability. So, with that said, let's have a look at all the goals that I've set for myself for 2018, and I will go through all of them one by one and give you an update, how far I've got, whether the goal has got accomplished, what I've learned from that, what impact it had on my life. If it hasn't got accomplished, why that was, what was the challenge, and what learning came from it. I'll be reading it here on my iPad. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I group my goals into several categories. And the first category is business. All these goals in this category focus on my ability, developing my ability to grow in my business or expanding my business, me becoming better as a businessman. And the first goal was, I will easily complete 10 Key Person of Influence program by March 31st. So this goal has got accomplished. I actually started this training in 2017. It was 9 months long business training, business program, helping entrepreneurs like me to become more influential in their field. If you're in business yourself, I highly recommend you to check it out. You can click on the link. It's a fantastic program run by a company called Dent. It's a global business training company. And I've gained so much from it. The content is amazing, plus the community of all those entrepreneurs that are with you on the program has amazing energy and has great impact on you and your growth, and it's very inspirational. The next goal was I will easily complete then influence and assets workshop. This was a shorter workshop. If I remember well, it was 2 days. It got accomplished really great. As it says, it's to help you develop better influence and assets in your business. The next goal was I will easily complete Dent's LinkedIn influence workshop in April. So a lot of Dent workshops that I've been through, it's because I really like their materials, really like the way they teach things. It's a very credible company, highly recommend it. So that goal got accomplished. It was all focused on developing your LinkedIn presence, how to connect with other people, how to pimp up your profile, I would say. Just a quick side note on this. If you're in business or if you're a professional and you are not on LinkedIn and you're on Facebook, for example, or on other social media, I highly encourage you to get on LinkedIn and create very strong profile. There's a lot of guidance out there that you can find on YouTube and so on, and how to do it. Or you can join one of those programs that will teach you how to do it correctly, because LinkedIn is a professional social network, and you can connect with amazing people there. And what's quite different from other social networks is that it has very professional vibe. People don't share pictures of their dogs and cats and from their holidays necessarily, but it's all business oriented, all professional, career development oriented. And I personally find it very useful for growing my business, connecting with the right people. It's like a high-end networking event online. Also, you need to learn how to do it properly, how to write your profile, or complete your profile well, how to communicate with other people. I think the great start would be just to go on LinkedIn, create a profile, and just observe. Follow some big people in your industry or in general, and watch what they do, because you can learn so much from them. These people usually have big marketing or social media teams who specialize in running their social media, and they know how to do it correctly. So you can learn a lot. If you're new to LinkedIn, you can learn a lot just by observing, and little by little you can get into it. Again, I can't recommend it highly enough. That goal got accomplished. Next goal, I will easily create follow-up for my lifestyle scorecard assessment by December 31st. So that goal got completed, but not to the level that I intended. It's just to give you a little explanation, the lifestyle scorecard assessment is something that you can do on my website, assessment you can take on my website. It's completely free. You answer a bunch of questions about different areas of your life, and it will generate a report that gives you scores around all these areas of your life, around my methodology. And so it will give you good insight into which areas of your life probably need the most attention right now, what's the most urgent to focus on and to work on right now. And my intention was to create a follow-up of several videos that will give people even more insight into the results and will help them understand it even better and give them even more suggestions or guidelines or guidance into where they should start with their personal development and how they could go about it. There is a brief follow-up, however, it's not up to the standard that I intended. So I considered that goal not being done. The reason for that was I haven't prioritized, I haven't dedicated enough time to that. Creating videos is quite time consuming, editing it and so on, and I wanted to be on very good level, very high standard. and I just simply couldn't prioritize that task as other things were more urgent. Next goal was I will easily hire a virtual assistant by December 31st. I did actually hire someone at the beginning of the year. I tried several virtual assistants, some better than others. Eventually I settled with one who is helping me with just the basic tasks, basic admin, social media a little bit. So I was initially quite reluctant of delegating my work to someone else, because we usually believe that we can do it better than anyone else. We can do the best. The other people wouldn't do it as well as we do. Maybe other people don't hold the standard as high. I've learned that some people actually can do things, I realized that some people can do that work way better than I can, of course. Next goal was I will easily grow my mailing list to 3,000 subscribers by December 31st. So that goal hasn't got accomplished. I finished on 1,225, which it's not a great growth. I have anticipated or expected to reach the 3,000 subscribers. What happened was that somewhere around March of 2018, in the UK and in Europe, the GDPR became effective, which is General Data Protection. And getting new subscribers became much more difficult or complicated than it used to be before. The reason for that is now when you want someone to be subscribed to your services, they have to double opt-in, you cannot incentivize the subscription and so on. So it simply just became more complicated, but I'm working on it. I want to create more valuable content. I want people to want to be subscribed to my services and just be eager to get all the stuff that they get with it. It's one of the goals for me for 2019. However, that goal hasn't got accomplished. The final goal in the business category is I will easily publish 24 articles by December 31st. So I have published 22 articles. So here is the thing, even though I haven't got accomplished I haven't accomplished this goal, what I'd like to share with you is that by the end of October, I've only published 13 articles. So in the remaining 2 months, I published 9 new articles, which was pretty much every week, and I've been half of the December on holidays. I realized that I had resistance to creating content, to writing, because writing just doesn't come natural to me. English is not my first language, so it was a little bit challenging, a little bit, there was a little bit of resistance to it. However, I worked on it, I worked on myself, gave myself some coaching, and in November I just leaned into it and I created 9 great articles that were actually quite long, way over 1,000 words. So even though I have not accomplished that goal, I'm quite pleased with my progress in the last 2 months of 2018, and I've fallen short by 2 articles, but again, I'm pleased with the progress. The next category of my goals is profile. All the goals in this category are focused on increasing my visibility, online and offline. They are focused on raising my profile as a coach and as an entrepreneur. And the first goal was I will easily write and publish a book by July 1st. Having a book is a great way to differentiate yourself from your competitors, but also help your potential clients or your followers connect better with your teachings, with your ideas, with your methodology. It will help them understand it even better. And having a book is a great way to raise your profile and to market yourself as well. Now, writing a book is a challenging but very insightful process. I have actually got really far in writing a book. I think I've written probably 80 to 85% of what I've wanted to write. But as I was writing, what's really interesting about writing a book is that it helps you clarify the ideas that you're writing about. It gives you even deeper understanding of your own methodology. New ideas, new examples will come up. And as I was writing, I realized that I would actually like the book to be positioned in my ideas in slightly different angle that will be more authentic to me, that would be more compelling to read, it would be more engaging to read. And so I decided in September to put the writing on hold to further clarify how exactly I want the tone of the book to be, the angle or the perspective. And so the book hasn't got accomplished. I haven't published my book. Quite bummed about it. However, it's a goal that got carried over to 2019. Now I have way clearer idea of what the new angle of the book would be. So stay tuned. There'll be a book coming out in 2019. The next goal was I will easily grow my website traffic to 3,000 visitors per month by December 31st. I have reached the traffic in December. The traffic to my website was at 2,890, which is just shy of the 3,000 mark. However, I must consider that goal as not being accomplished. And what's quite interesting though is that in December, actually halfway through December, I stopped all my marketing, all my paid advertising, which accounts for a decent proportion of the traffic to my website. However, December was my strongest month because I've put out so much content out there. I've published so many articles and I shared it through my social media, which then generated or attracted a lot of new traffic, a lot of new visitors. So if you're in business and you have a website and you want to bring more visitors to your website, then I highly encourage you to be creating a lot of content, because it proves itself to be really, really effective way. It probably shouldn't be a surprise, but I was quite surprised with the amount of traffic that it generated. The next goal was I will easily reach 20,000 connections on LinkedIn by December 31st. So I've reached 16,232. Therefore, the goal hasn't got accomplished. I could have done that if I spent a little bit more time on LinkedIn, connected with more people. However, I didn't want to push it just for the sake of completing the goal, and to the point that the quality of the connections would be jeopardized. On LinkedIn, as I said, it's a great platform, but just with anything, quality over quantity. More importantly, LinkedIn actually has a cap on how many people you can be connected with. I believe it's at 35,000, even though I still have a long way to go to max out my capacity of connections. When I'm connecting with people, I want to connect with the right people, with high quality people that it just would make sense for me to be connected to. And therefore, I haven't accomplished that goal, but considering that I started on 10,000 in 2000 at the beginning of 2018, I grew my LinkedIn connections by approximately 500 a month. That's pretty decent to me. However, I haven't reached the 20,000. The next goal, I will easily reach 6,000 followers on my Instagram by December 31st. So I started on Instagram started the year at 1,807 followers on Instagram, and I've reached the 6,000 mark somewhere mid-August, and I'm actually finishing 2018 at 14,242 followers. So I more than doubled my my goal in terms of followers on LinkedIn. I've done a lot of reading, a lot of research on how to grow the following on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and I'm blown away myself by the amount of followers that I've gained in 1 year, which is approximately 12,000, which is about 1,000 new followers a month. And I haven't paid for any followers. These are all genuine followers, people who are interested in my content. I'm sharing a lot of inspirational stuff, quotes, and inspirational photos. So if you're on Instagram, following me, you can just click on the link and it will take you to my profile. I'll be grateful if you follow me there, and hopefully it will inspire you, or the content that I'm sharing would inspire you. The next goal is I will easily be featured on at least 3 podcasts or interviews by December 31st. This was an amazing experience because I set the goal to be featured on 3 podcast interviews. I haven't done any proactive work in terms of reaching out to people, hey, would you have me on your podcast, and so on. What actually happened that I had many people reaching out to me, offering to interview me on their podcast. And very often it happened that they read about my goal, about this goal on my website, and they thought, hey, I have a podcast, I follow this guy, I would love to interview him. And so I ended up being on 8 podcasts in 2018, which is incredible. I love the experience. I love doing podcasts. It's a little bit like being on a radio. And it was a really, really great experience. Really enjoyed it. I also was featured in a healthy magazine. A lady reached out to me and we spoke on how to use your downtime more effectively. I shared about this on social media. I was featured in the magazine. It was a great article. Really enjoyed it. The podcasts were typically about personal development, how I grew my coaching business, how I grew as an entrepreneur, what was my journey of turning my life around. I was sharing a lot of great tips. So if you're interested, some of the podcasts are featured on my website. The next category is coaching. And the first goal was I will easily run 500 coaching sessions, including the initial consultations, by December 31st. So it was a big goal for me. 500 coaching sessions in 1 year. If you're a coach, you probably know how big of a goal that is. And it was so amazing to reflect on that because I actually had a quick chat with my mom and somehow this topic came up. And she was telling me, hey, do you remember when, like several years ago, when you started coaching, you were hoping to have, I think, like a session every week, coaching session every week. And now with this goal, which I've accomplished, I actually finished the year on 555 coaching sessions in 2018. Considering that I'm coaching Monday to Friday, and excluding all the holidays and so on, I've been pretty maxed out this year, and I typically do just 3 sessions in 1 day. That's the most I do because coaching is quite demanding. You have to concentrate a lot. So I don't want to be pushing more sessions or squeezing more sessions in 1 day because it would probably lower my ability to give my clients all I can. So amazing accomplishments, 555 sessions in 1 year. I'm super pleased about it. The next goal was I will easily run 150 initial consultations by December 31st. So in case you're not aware of this or you're not familiar with this concept of initial consultation, So what it is that before I start working with a client for a longer period of time, which could be anything between 3 months and 6 months, 12 months, 1 year. With some clients I've actually worked with for more than 3 years now. And the initial consultation is the time when we meet for the first time. I want to get to know them. I want to get to know their situation. I want to understand completely what kind of help they need, what kind of coaching they need, what are the goals, how we would work on it, and so on. I want to also understand who they are. And I want them to be totally familiar and clear on, if we went ahead with coaching, what would it look like? How do I work? What's the arrangements, the coaching arrangement? And if everything feels great, if we both feel like, hell yes, let's go ahead, at the end of the initial consultation, then we shake hands and we go ahead with coaching. It's really important for me that the client feels very comfortable and excited about working with me, but it's equally important for me that I feel just as excited to work with them, because, hey, as I said, I have 500 consultations or over 500 coaching sessions in a year, and each session is an hour and a half, sometimes more. So it's a lot of time. It's probably around 1,000 hours a year that I spent working with people. So I need to look forward to it. I want to be excited about working with these people again and again and again. So I need to be inspired by them just as much as I want them to be inspired by me. So the goal was to have 150 or to run 150 initial consultations. I actually finished the year on 154, and amazing people. The next goal was, I will easily enroll at least 40 new inspiring clients by December 31st. So, to give you a little insight into running the initial consultations, as I talked about before, not everyone I meet will become a client. For a variety of reasons, we may not be the right match for the coaching that they need. I may not be the right coach for them. They may not be the right client for me. Maybe the chemistry is not right. Maybe the connection is not there. And the typical conversion ratio is that approximately 1 out of 4 clients, prospects will become a client. So therefore, for me to complete the goal of working with 40 people or having 40 new clients in a year, doing the maths, I knew that I need to run approximately 150, 160 initial consultations. So with the goal of having 40 new inspiring clients, I've completed the goal. I finished with 41 new clients in 2018. Absolutely love every single one of them. These are incredible people. I'm truly inspired by them. And therefore, the goal says to enroll at least 40 new inspiring clients. It's so important to me that I'm inspired by them. That's part of the description of my goal. The next goal was, I will easily create and launch more accessible group coaching program before December 31st. So this goal hasn't got accomplished. I haven't launched the program. I started working on it. It's more time consuming than I thought. I started working with an incredible coach who is helping me put everything together. I had to learn a lot of stuff. I'm working on the materials. I'm working on the content, and the program will be launched at the beginning of the first quarter of 2019. Just to give you a little bit of a sneak peek on what it's going to be about, the program will be focused on helping people develop unshakable self-confidence. And the reason for that is, throughout all the work that I've done in the last 5 years, all the coaching work and the more than 10 years of me myself being in-person development, learning and how to improve yourself, how to improve your life, how to turn things around, I've realized that the key skill is self-discipline. Without self-discipline, you can't get yourself to do the things that you need to do. And to create the life that you want, you will have to change the way, you will have to change how you spend your time, you will have to change the way you do things. And where we are most of the time is comfortable. It's at least tolerably uncomfortable. This is where most people are, by the way. And we find it so hard to let go of that comfort. And it will require self-discipline to be putting yourself out there, outside of the comfort zone, again and again and again. And what will happen over time, that the comfort zone will grow or will transfer elsewhere. Nonetheless, to create a fulfilling and exciting life, you will need to have unshakable self-discipline. And so I want to create this program that will be more accessible, will be more affordable than working with me one-on-one. So it will be available to more people. And I'm super excited about launching it. It will still take a little bit of work, but follow me and I will make sure that you will get informed when the program is launching, so you can join if developing self-discipline is something that you need help with. So the next category of my goals is relationships, which includes all the goals that are focused on improving or at least maintaining the important relationships in my life, whether it's friends, family, personal relationships, and so on. And the first goal was I will easily connect with each member of my family at least once a month. So because I live in the UK and my family live in Czech Republic at different places, I don't get to see them very often. So for me, it's so easy to get absorbed in work and coaching and other things. And time flies so fast, and it can go by, 2 months can go by so quickly. And it's so easy to forget to actually reach out to all members of your family and making sure that everything is okay and they're doing well, and just to update them with what's going on and also hear about how they're doing and so on. That's why I set this goal, and I've accomplished that. I must say that actually with many of them I've spoken much more frequently than once a month. Next goal, I will easily have a date night with my girlfriend at least twice a month. If you are in a long-term relationship and you've been together for a couple of years, it's so easy to become comfortable and almost take each other for granted and stop doing all the nice things that we were doing at the beginning. When you start dating someone, it's exciting, it's new, and you want to impress them and show your best colors, and you do all the nice things. And then the longer you are together, people typically stop doing these things. So I set it as a goal for myself, just to make sure that we maintain the spark in our relationship and things don't go kind of stale and we just become comfortable. So I set this goal to arrange a date night at least twice a month, which we definitely have accomplished. And by the way, on this goal, if you are in a long-term relationship and you stop doing things like going on a date, I don't mean going to some local takeaway. I mean dressing up, booking a nice restaurant, going there and really treat yourself to a nice meal and just having that intimacy and all that time together without the phones and checking the screen all the time. Just being there with each other. If you don't do that, if you stop doing that, set it as a goal for yourself. At least once a month. It's just bare minimum. If you're a guy, you'll be very surprised how positively your partner will react to it. And final goal of the friendship category was that I'll easily connect with at least one old friend each month. So the reason for this goal was that, again, living in the UK, running my own business, being very busy, I don't get to see my friends very often, even if they're in London, or especially the ones that are back home and around the world. And so these friendships can drift apart. We all have our own life, and we, live it in our own way. And by not being in touch, you fall out of that, of the happening in the other person's life, and you can totally grow apart over, fairly short periods sometimes. So what I set myself as a goal was that I would reach out at least, once a month to an old friend that I haven't spoken to in a while. And it was quite an interesting experience because I've rekindled several friendships with some friends, and it was really great to go and see them and have a beer or have a lunch or dinner and just catch up with what's going on. And it was so amazing sometimes to see, how much they've changed in a positive way and how much they've grown their businesses or their career and so on. Sometimes they've grown their children. And it was quite interesting, sad sometimes to see that some people haven't changed a bit in, over several years, and yet they were so unhappy even before, and they haven't worked on themselves in that time, and it was mind blowing. And what also happened that I reached out to some old friends and I didn't hear back from them. I don't know what the reason was. Maybe they changed their numbers. Maybe they're too busy. Maybe they're not interested anymore in our friendship, which is totally fine with me. But it's so interesting to go through that, and it's a little bit like a lottery. You play and you wait what's going to happen. But definitely, again, for you, if you feel like you're drifting apart with some old friends, or you're wondering sometimes, I wonder what James is doing now, text him, email him, call him, or your friend Sally, or whoever that might be. It's nice to hear from someone after a long time, especially if they don't need anything from you. When someone reaches out to you and say, hey, I haven't talked to you in 5 years, I need a favor. That's not great, but it's nice experience. It's very interesting experience. The next category of my goals is health and fitness, which includes all the goals that are focused on me, improving my health, improving my fitness, my physique, my endurance, and overall just focusing on my health. So the first goal was I will easily work out at least 3 times a week. Such a great experience. At the beginning of the year, I would say the first half of the year was quite a struggle for me to get myself to the gym and work out, and I didn't enjoy it. I still did it because I felt like, okay, I need to get fitter. And something happened halfway through, and I started enjoying it so much. The day wouldn't feel right if I didn't go to the gym. I love running, indoors or outside. I love body weight exercises. And especially for the last 3 or 4 months of 2018, I spent a lot of time working out. On average, I would say 30 times a month, so pretty much every day. On some days, I actually worked out twice, sometimes in the morning and then in the evening. To give an example, December was my busiest month, I think. I did 41 workouts, spent 30 hours in the gym, and burned 19,000 calories. And not only that I feel better, not only that I love working out, but I can see the changes on myself. Physically, I'm getting fitter, I'm getting stronger, and I'm really enjoying it. So that goal has got accomplished. The next goal was I will easily dedicate at least 1 hour every Sunday for myself. I would not miss this for anything. It's that time, it's like my sanctuary. Every Sunday I find at least an hour and I sit down, usually with a cup of tea or some drink, and I reflect on the past week. I look at the accomplishments, I look at the challenges that I've been through, look at the mistakes that I've made, look at the lessons that I've learned, and really reflect. And I do a lot of writing and really contemplate or ponder the past week, because there's so much we can learn. The things that worked well, I can do them again, I can replicate it. The things that I didn't do right, then I can fix them in the coming week. And also part of this time for myself is me planning the coming week, setting some goals, organizing my time, making sure that everything is planned and structured, because if you leave things just up in the air and you take it as it comes, you will never create the life that you want, because other life urgencies will just take over, and doing the things that you want to do will require you to say no to lots of things that may seem important, that it may seem urgent, but actually if you don't prioritize them, nothing too awful will happen. So that goal has definitely got accomplished. That's my weekly ritual, and I wouldn't give it up for anything. Next goal was I will easily complete at least 25 one-day fasts, or green days, which means a day where I only eat fruit, raw fruit or vegetable. So I started quite slow. I've only accomplished not 25 but 22, so I fell short, but I have picked up my game from August, where by August I only completed 12, so it's like a couple of months approximately. I did 10 in the last 3 months of 2018. What made a big change or shift, I would say, was I worked for 3 months with an amazing couple who they run a business called Whole Shift Wellness. It's Serena and Eugene. Serena is a nutritionist and Eugene is a personal trainer, masseuse, physiotherapist. And I worked with them for 3 months, where Serena was helping me optimize my diet. Now, both of them are vegans. And I remember our initial consultation where they were interviewing me, and I was almost worried that they will try to convert me into being a vegan. I literally told them, hey, listen, I like my steak. Don't take it away from me. I'm not going to give it up. And they said, hey, don't worry about it at all. We just want to do like incremental improvements, or suggest some incremental improvements where you could go better about it. And they recommended some literature, which I've read. They recommended some documentaries to watch. And funny enough, their business is called Whole Shift Wellness. And I must say that really a shift has happened in my thinking, because I started eating much healthier, not because I felt like I'm forced, or I didn't even feel like I'm restricting myself in eating meat and all this stuff. I was drawn to eating more fresh food, more unprocessed food, because it just felt better. And now currently I'm in the Philippines, and I just can't get enough local fruits like mangoes, pomelos, bananas, coconuts, and all this stuff. It's something happened in how I see, how I feel about my body, and how I treat my body, how I want to treat my body, and what I'm putting in, that I'm drawn to eating healthy. And working with Eugene was great. We did a lot of physio, we did a lot of stretching. He did massages and really helped me. We identified some issues that I need to work with my posture and so on. They're fantastic couple, amazing professionals in the wellness industry. There's a link on my website, so have a look. I highly encourage you to check them out. So that goal hasn't got accomplished. However, something even more important happened is that a shift in my thinking, how I think about my body, how I think about food, how I think about diet. The next goal was I will easily sign up for martial art classes by December 31st. So I actually signed up at the beginning of February for kickboxing classes. I found a personal trainer, and I've been attending these one-on-one kickboxing classes ever since. Every week, with few exceptions, on Saturdays we have these kickboxing classes. Luke is my personal trainer, amazing guy, semi-professional kickboxer, and I'm loving this. I'm really enjoying the martial arts. It has a level of feel of aggression, and so I can really let out all that steam there, and it's a bloody hard workout. So that goal definitely got accomplished. Next goal is I will easily reach the weight of 80 kilograms by December 31st. So this goal has not got accomplished. My weight fluctuated, but it actually hasn't got all that much. I started on 85.5 kilos and I ended on 85.3 kilos. And there were some ups and downs. But the reason for that, I haven't quite thought, when I set this goal, I haven't quite thought it through. Because my initial intention was just to lose weight. But because I started working out so much, I started putting on muscle mass, which is, I think, 3 times heavier than body fat. So while I lost quite a bit of body fat, I actually put on some muscles as well, which compensated for the weight loss. So while I haven't reached that goal, I'm actually pleased with the result. I'm much fitter physically. I definitely put on some muscles. I feel better, and if I got down to 80 kilos, I think I would be a bit too skinny, and I wouldn't be as happy with the results as I'm happy with the results I got now. Next goal, I will easily run 5K under 20 minutes by December 31st. So running 5K under 20 minutes, considering I'm 35, is not the easiest of tasks. I started on 22.5 minutes and I got it down to, my best time was 20 minutes and 5 seconds. So I fell short by 5 seconds. I was thinking after the run, damn, I should have pushed myself a little harder. Honestly, I could not. I was pushing myself hard the whole run. And actually halfway through the year, I couldn't train as hard because I had problem with shin splints and so on, but that's all okay now. So even though I accomplished that goal, I got pretty close, and I will definitely accomplish it in 2019. Next goal, I will be able to complete 20 pull-ups by December 31st. I got up to 18. Again, I fell a little short. I believe that I would be able to do that, but 18 was the best I could have done. And another goal was I will easily complete 100 push-ups by December 31st. So I think this was a little too ambitious goal. My best figure was 67. I've been exercising regularly, but doing 100 push-ups is not as easy as it sounds. So I felt quite far off the mark that I set for myself. Nonetheless, carrying this goal over to 2019. The last category of my goals is mind and emotion, which includes all the goals that are focused on my personal development, me centering myself, education, and so on. And the first goal was I'll easily complete at least 300 meditations by December 31st. I've accomplished the goal. I was very pleased about it, and I'm really getting into meditations. I'm enjoying it. And I must say, many people are hesitant to meditate because they think they have to meditate for an hour a day. If you can meditate for an hour a day, fantastic. I can't. It's too long for me. But I actually started with short 5-minute meditations, and my typical meditation is 10 to 15 minutes. I use different apps. I try different guided meditations. I've tried just having peaceful sounds and so on. I experimented a lot, and I do enjoy guided meditations. There's a great app called Calm that I enjoy very much. Insight Timer is also a fantastic open source application for iPhones and Androids, where many people submit their own recordings of meditations, guided meditations, or music for meditation, and you can really find anything and everything there, and it's typically of very high quality. So that goal has got accomplished, and I highly recommend you to get into meditations, even if it's 5 minutes a day, even if it's a form of mindfulness, which is just being present in the activity or in the present moment. It could be activity that you do, in that time. When you're washing dishes, you can be totally present. When you eat, you can be totally present, really experience the tastes and the textures of the food. When you're walking, that's something I love. Walking meditation, where I'm walking and I feel the ground under my feet, and I feel the wind or the sun on my skin. I listen to the sounds and so on. It's a great way to meditate in a form of being present. Next goal was I'll easily read 20 books by December 31st. I have accomplished that goal. I actually read or listened to 23 books. You can see the whole list on my website. Mostly personal development or business focused literature. It's so important to read. If you're not a reader, and again, English is not my first language, and I'm fairly slow reader. But if you commit half an hour every evening just before you go to bed, rather than flipping through Instagram and Facebook and all that nonsense, read for half an hour. You can easily read probably 10 pages in half an hour. That adds up to 3,500 pages. That's at least 10 books in a year. And books, the right books, will expand your mind. They will shift your thinking. They will shift the baseline of what you think is possible, and it will give you a lot of guidance into how to change certain things in your life, how to change things in your business, and so on. Cannot recommend reading enough. There's a quote that leaders are readers, and it's so true. And the final 2 small goals were that I will easily practice gratitude ritual every day. I don't have a dedicated time for it, but I'm being very focused and very mindful about just being grateful for the little things in life. I'm always trying to find a positive angle to any situation. And hey, I have challenges in my life. There are things that piss me off. And I'm doing my best to stop that negativity for taking over my thinking. And I'm always finding a positive angle on it. And the final goal was I'll easily practice visualization every day. Again, I don't have a set time for it, but visualizing, and I call it pre-experiencing. When I need to do something, for example, yesterday I spent a whole day delivering workshop. Before that, I spent time visualizing me running the workshop and how I will be interacting with the audience, and how I will be walking on the stage and so on. So I use visualization every day because it's a powerful tool For example, athletes, excuse me, athletes use it all the time to visualize themselves, skiing down the slope, visualizing the track, or when they dive into water, how they're going to, spin in the air, what other movements, because when you visualize, your mind cannot actually tell the difference, whether it's a reality or whether it's just imagination. And what you're doing, you mentally rehearsing. Look into that. It's amazing. There's a lot of literature out there about the power of visualization and how it's used in sports, and how it's been researched in the field of psychology. So this concludes my 2018. What a year it has been. I've set myself a long list of goals. I've accomplished many of them. There were several that I haven't managed to accomplish. However, this is the power of even falling short in accomplishing your goals, because even by pursuing the goal in the first place, you will grow, you will learn, you will get better, and you will actually accomplish something. People say, shoot for the stars. So if you miss, at least you end up on the moon or something like that. Which is so true. If you aim high, you may not reach that high, but even if you reach just here, you still accomplished this growth. And that can't be ignored, that can't be discounted, right? So guys, thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for following me. I really appreciate that. There'll be another video coming out soon with my 2019 goals. I hope all this inspires you. I hope it helps you maybe set your own goals, gives you a little bit of courage, a little bit of confidence that is so needed and so necessary in setting goals and for life in general. And I couldn't be more appreciative of you. With that said, have an amazing day. Have an amazing start to 2019. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next video.